Hi guys, welcome back to Judy's Kitchen, and thank you guys so much for stopping by. So we've done a couple of videos like this one where I share with you guys 40 different meals you can cook for 40 days without repeating. I share with you guys baby food ideas, meal timetables, and things like that. But today I'm going to share with you guys 10 African meals that are made using corn. So corn is something that I think is eaten worldwide, not just in Africa, not just in Cameroon. But today I want to narrow it down to sharing with you guys some of the meals that we enjoy in Africa. And one thing I realized when I was doing the research for this video is that a lot of African countries, they eat similar meals, but then they call it different names. So let's jump right into the list of 10 different African meals that are made using corn. The first one, which is a delicacy in my country, Cameroon, we call it corn chaff. So corn chaff is basically a blend of corn and beans, and people like it in different proportions. So the proportion of beans to corn, you would find it different depending on whoever is cooking and how they like it. So for me, I like my corn chaff with more corn than more beans. Okay, some people prefer more beans than corn, but I prefer more corn than beans. One of the things I realized while I was doing the research to make this video is that Nigerians also eat corn chaff, but they call it, I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce it well, but it's adalu or adalu or whatever. I don't know how they pronounce it, but I think it's adalu. Okay, I think that's how they call it. It's a combination of corn and beans. The next African meal that is made using corn is Fufu Corn, and this is a Cameroonian meal. This is actually what we're going to be eating today. I would insert clips for you guys to see. So we majorly eat Fufu Corn in Cameroon with huckleberry vegetable. It's actually a traditional meal from the northwest region of Cameroon. So we eat fufu corn and different kinds of vegetables. Now, one of the things I also realized is that we have different kinds of fufus in Cameroon. So we have fufu corn, we have water fufu, we have what other fufu do we have? We have plantain fufu, and I think there's fufu cocoyam or cocoyam fufu, achu fufu. So we have different fufus, but I think in Nigeria and Ghana, I'm not too sure. Correct me in the comment section if you are from any of these countries. I think they just have one meal. So basically in Cameroon, fufu is like something that you cut with your hand and then you carry your soup and then you eat. But in Nigeria and Ghana, I think that they have just one that they call fufu, and then the other ones that are also swallows, they have different names for them. So they have like eba. Okay, but in Cameroon, actually, gari, we don't call it fufu, we call it gari. So anyway, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but yeah, we have different kinds of fufus in Cameroon, and one of our fufus is made with corn, and so we call it fufu corn. Okay, the next meal that is made with corn is pap. I actually have a recipe of how to make pap from scratch on this channel, and I actually have how to make carrot infused pap also on this channel. So if pap is something that you don't know. And one other thing I realized is that what we call pap in Cameroon is not what other African countries they call pap. So their pap is more like a fufu. It's more thicker. Meanwhile, for us, pap is like something that we have for breakfast. And I think Nigerians, if I'm not sure, I think they also have pap, but they call it akamu. Correct me in the comment section yet again. I think they call it akamu. The next one, we are going all the way down to South Africa. So they have this meal in South Africa that they call samp, and it is basically like a creamy corn. Okay, I think it's like soupy. You could go online and check. I'll try to show you guys pictures as well. The next meal in Africa that is made with corn is called Ugali. Now, if you're fond of I love watching Ghanaian, Kenyans and Nigerians, so I get to know a lot of the different meals that they have. And I think the first time I heard the name Ugali was from Miss Trudy's channel. She's a popular Kenyan vlogger, so I think I heard Ugali from her channel the first time I ever heard it, and from then I've been hearing it. I watch a lot of Kenyan food bloggers, and I see them share recipes on how to make ugali. So ugali is made with corn, and I think it originates from Kenya or maybe from East Africa as a whole. Again, in the comment section, let us know. The next meal, I have my list here if you see me looking down. The next meal on our list is koki corn. I think Nigerians, they call it corn pudding. Okay, it's basically it's made out of corn, fresh corn mostly. I don't think they can make koki corn with dried corn, so they use fresh corn, and it's so nice. They blend it, and you don't blend it too soft. I don't think I have a recipe of koki corn. I think this is the only meal, and then the other Kenyan meals. But any meal that is Cameroonian, that originates from Cameroon, that I've called, in this video, you can check out the recipe. But for cocky corn, I don't think I've done it yet. I have cocky beans, but I don't have cocky corn. So I think that's one of the deals. I think that's one of the meals that we have to absolutely share a recipe on this channel. The next African meal, I don't know if I should say it's a meal or a side dish. I think it's a side dish or a snack or something that's made out of corn. Is boiled corn. Okay, just pluck your corn, wash it, boil it, and enjoy. I've seen people make corn in different ways, you guys. You will think that the way you live your life is the norm until you go to other people's places and see what a norm is to them. In fact, what is not normal to you is normal to somebody. So I've seen people make corn with butter. I've seen them make it with coconut milk. I've seen different versions of boiled corn. I've seen boiled corn where they sprinkle some green spices. I don't know if it's just to make it bougie, but I've seen so many different versions of boiled corn, and yeah, that's one of it. But also you can have corn roasted. Okay, so I'll not say that this is a whole full meal on its own, but it could be a side dish and it could be a snack as well. Next meal on our list is the Kenyan style corn curry. You can already tell where it's coming from. I found this on YouTube and I saw a lot of recipes, and it's very, I think one of the things that I've gotten to realize with Kenyans is that their meals, like even when they make beans, there's this lady I watch, Susie's Homestead. Even when they make their meals, their meals are always very creamy and soupy, and there's always moisture. Like I used to like making my beans, my fried beans. I would always try to make it to ensure that there's no liquid, it's very dry. But I've just gotten to that place where I now like it more moist and a little bit watery or so. So I've noticed that in their beans they always pour a lot of coconut milk in it. And so when I see this Kenyan style corn coconut curry, I can imagine how juicy it can be. Drop it in the comment section if that's something that you've ever had a taste of. Just drop it in the comment section. The next one is the kenke, and this one it's from Ghana. I've heard this a lot. Even in Ghanaian music, you hear them talk about kenke. In movies, their movies, you hear them talk about kenke. And when I watch, like I like to watch travel vloggers. So when they say, oh, I'm going to Ghana and they want to talk about the meals that they would love to try, there is always going to be kenke. There's this other meal that they have, what they call this meal, I've forgotten, but it's a mixture of gari, dodo, is it wache? I think that should be the name. You would hear kenke and then you hear them talk about wache. So yeah, that's one of the meals. The last one we have on our list is called milli bread. Okay, I think it's from South Africa. They use corn to make this bread. Okay, so there are different meals in Africa. Africa is so blessed with a lot of food. There are so many different ways, and I think that one of the things to note is that we have a lot of similarities in our foods. The only difference is in the process and then the names. Okay, so is the process and then maybe the side ingredients. So for example, somebody might mix corn and beans together, but then they have a special ingredient that is more Nigerian or more Ghanaian or more Kenyan, or more people from these regions. They use this particular ingredient in their meals, but then maybe this other country doesn't use it. So that's what makes the meal to taste a little different. I think in Cameroon we have what we call eru, and in Nigeria I think they call it is it okazi? I'm not too sure, but it's almost the same thing, but you see them pounding their own eru. They make it slightly different, but I can imagine the taste in my head. When I see the recipes, I'm like, this will not taste very far from what eru tastes like. So Africa is definitely one. We can see that our meals are very similar and there's so many different options. Is there an African meal that is made out of corn that I have not mentioned in this video? Please drop it in the comment section. If it's your first time coming to my channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.